You're doing Facebook ads all wrong. And trust me, I don't need to see your ad account. $1 billion companies that all make the same mistakes. Let me give you some examples. You got A/B tests that prove nothing, wasting money. You got ad sets competing with one another for your daily budget. You got creatives that push people away instead of pulling them in. And you have funnel ratios that just don't make any sense. Let me show you how real media buyers set up their campaigns. After 7 years, millions of dollars in tracked revenue, and countless clients, I can finally share with you how to make profitable, scalable Facebook ad systems. Now, before we go straight into how to set up the campaigns on the Facebook Ad Manager, let me just go over what a funnel is. Now, I made this diagram for you guys to see. TOFU MOFU BOFU, right? Meaning top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. And then you have different audiences and purposes for your ad for those audiences at different stages of the funnel. Now, what is a funnel? A funnel is basically the path that a customer takes from not knowing you to knowing you and to buying. And for each of these stages, obviously you want to act differently to them. When they don't know you, you want to show who you are or what your service or product is. Once they know you, you want to build more trust with them. You want to say, hey, look at our customer testimonials. Look at this user-generated content. Look at these before afters. And once they add it to cart, these people are ready to buy. They bought once, they're going to buy again. Or if they've already been on your website and they've engaged with your website, most likely they're just debating because of the price or because there's another competitor. At this point, you want to ram them with offers they can't resist, some discounts or like 30% discount or free shipping or something like that. The idea of this funnel is something that you should master if you are a business owner. If you're a business owner, you need to recognize where your users are in the funnel and how to best convert them from top of the funnel to middle to the bottom, right? You need to increase that conversion rate as much as possible. Let me give you an example of Apple headphones. In the real world, how can you see this funnel system work with these headphones? First, who's the audience? People who are interested in tech. What's your purpose? You want to showcase your product. You want to show them that you have this cool product from Apple. And then how do you get them? You get billboards. You can put subway ads. You can do TV commercials, Facebook ads, etc. That will be your top of the funnel marketing. What do you put in the middle of the funnel? Here you have people who've watched your ads or were near the vicinity of your billboards or read your press releases. And here you want to bring more trust to them. You want to give them more buying intent. So you compare this with a pair of different headphones, or you show them before afters, or you can do email campaigns to people who signed up for your website, or you can have in-store demos of the product at Apple stores near where you had all these billboards. For the bottom of the funnel for Apple headphones, what would you do? Well, who's your audience? Your audience is people who've added to cart. Maybe they went to the Apple store to try them on, or they bought other Apple products. In this case, you want to show them retargeting ads. Say, hey, your AirPod Maxes are waiting for you, or here's a 20% discount, here's free shipping. Maybe you can even give them limited time financing options. Those are ways that you convert them. This messaging is so important. If you've understood that, you will have no problem in understanding why I'm setting up ads like this. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go over how to set up your campaign. Now you see here at the top of the funnel, you have your campaign settings and creative settings. For your campaign settings, you wanna have sales as to be your objective, specifically purchases, right? And then for your targeting, you wanna make it as broad as you can. Just do like your country, right? So if you're doing US sales, just do US. I don't recommend doing anything else like detailed targeting or interest targeting. Facebook will do all of this. Trust me, it's better than you can do. Now for targeting, you want to exclude everyone. So the only inclusion you have is your country. Even for gender, maybe it's good, right? Maybe it's good, but there are many cases where the opposite gender can buy it for their partner or something like that, right? So for genders, it's kind of like a case-by-case scenario. If you have anything, just put it in the comments. I'll let you know what I think about it. Same thing with like mobile devices. Like let's say you're selling phone cases. For iPhone, you might think, oh, I'm gonna target only iOS users. Well, they might be an iOS user for their phone, but they might be looking at the ad via their Android tablet, right? Or it could be possible that they're trying to buy an iPhone case for their spouse, right? And they've been researching all of these cases. You want to be able to target those people as well, right? So think about it before you just turn off these settings, I personally recommend make it as broad as you can. In fact, you don't even need to touch this setting. Only thing I would say is your country. Now you want to make custom audiences. So for targeting exclusion, you want to make custom audiences for video viewers, Instagram and Facebook page engagers, website visitors, add to carts, checkouts initiated, and purchases, right? So you want to exclude all of these people because you want to get a fully cold audience for you to target. That's how it's a true top of the funnel campaign. And then for your creative settings, for your strategy, you just want to pattern interrupt, add curiosity, give some problem awareness. And for your ad copy, just try to expose a problem and showcase your product or service in a light that others haven't seen before, because you must have competitors in your field, right? So you kind of want to give a different take. Now, for the middle of the funnel here, your objective is the same. You want sales. And for your targeting, here I segmented it by 30 days to 31 to 180 days. 180 days is the max, right? So within 30 days, they're a little bit warmer compared to the 31 to 180 days, because these guys could have forgotten about you, right? Or maybe they kind of remember you, right? So your messaging will be different. For maybe 30 days, it'll be like, hey, what do you think about this product, right? You might showcase a different variation of that hero product you have. Or for 31 to 180 days, you might want to approach it the same way you do top of the funnel, but mix in some testimonials, mix in some more details that make them put some trust in you. And for excluding, you want to exclude anyone who added to cart, anyone who initiated checkout, and anyone who purchased. And the reason for this is because these people will be in your bottom of the funnel. You're targeting these people separately. So you don't want to show people who added to cart your middle of the funnel ad, and you don't want to show people who added to cart your top of the funnel ad. The messaging just doesn't work that way. You can, but it will be ineffective. As I said before, you really want to dial in on converting as much as possible and increasing that conversion rate. And you have to increase that conversion rate by making detailed messaging for detailed audiences. For your creative strategy here, you just want to show your social proof, give some demonstrations about your product or service, and add some credibility. That could be through people writing user testimonials or user-generated content, as I mentioned before. For ad copy, reinforce the belief and eliminate doubt. All right, lastly, we're at the bottom of the funnel. So for at the bottom of the funnel, sales. Now here your targeting will include add to carts from 30 days, and then another group for 31 to 180. Initiate checkouts for 30 days. Initiate checkouts from 31 to 180 days, purchases from 30 days, and purchases from 31 to 180. Now, as I mentioned before, it's very clear on why these will be different. Let me just give you an example. Someone who added to cart within the past 30 days, these guys know your product and they wanted enough to add it to cart, but there's something that makes them struggle. There's something that's not getting them to budge. What could that possibly be, right? It could be shipping costs. Maybe they didn't know that there was additional shipping costs. It could be the price of the product themselves. It could be that they're debating between your product and another competitor, right? So how do you get them to budge? You have to give some offers. You want to add some urgency, some personalization to them. Maybe you want to show an ad specifically detailed to the ad that they last added to cart. So how does that differ from people who've added to cart from 31 to 180 days? Now, these people may have forgotten about your brand. They may no longer need your product. In this case, you might want to try showing them another hero product you have, or you might want to double down and give them an even higher discount, right? Maybe for the people who recently added to cart, maybe they were just about to buy anyways. Yeah, give them a 10% discount. But how about the people who added to cart a while ago and they forgot about it? Maybe you can give them a 20% discount. Maybe that will increase your conversions, right? Same thing for purchases. Now, purchases is different. It's much easier for you to convert people who've already bought your product, people who are already a customer, than people who were never once a customer, right? So add to cart, initiate checkouts, you want to be very strategic with this. Now, when it comes to purchases, we call these group a retention group because you want to retain them as your customers. Now, people who bought within the last 30 days, depends on what your product is, but it's highly likely that they're not going to try to buy right away. Let's say you have some kind of a body lotion. If they bought in the past 30 days, very unlikely that they're going to buy once again, right? Maybe you have to give them another month. In that case, you want to put them in the 31 to 180 day group. You can make these segments way more detailed if you know how people are using your product and what the average return rate is and what the lifespan of your product